Welcome. My name is Samuel James Price, and every single day I go over the news and I talk about it and I break it down. Robinhood may delist these crypto assets after SEC crackdown. Robinhood is reconsidering its crypto offering following the SEC's actions against Binance and Coinbase. Solana, Cardano, and Polygon are some tokens that Robinhood may delist. The SEC's actions could trigger a sell-off in the entire crypto market. Oh, that's not what the charts convey, but anything is possible. Crypto assets are facing an existential threat in the U.S. This is just a fear-mongering article, man, from the Daily Coin. Also, I would never even put my funds on Robinhood. What a horrible place to trade cryptocurrency. I don't trust them after what happened with the GameStop debacle and all that other stuff. They seem to be kind of in on the ins. I'm not with it. Robinhood's legal chief, Dan Gallagher, informed the U.S. Congress about the platform's stance on crypto offerings. The remarks come following the Securities and Exchange Commission lawsuit against major crypto exchanges. Robinhood, which is currently lists 18 different tokens, is considering delisting cryptos that the SEC has classified as unregistered securities. Robinhood delisting under pressure. What delisting crypto means for Robinhood, it means they're fairies, it means they're soft, and honestly, I just would never trade Robinhood in my life. It makes sense that they would fall off like this and not really care about their customers. Also, these are some of the greatest cryptocurrencies in the game. Matic is amazing. Sand is amazing. Atom is one of the strongest coins in the game. Algorand is amazing. And, and they mention these, they're just trying to mention stuff. Like, this is just a bunch of fear-mongering, in my humble opinion. I wouldn't even listen to that article. Cathie Wood Ark Invest buys Coinbase shares worth $21 million despite the SEC lawsuit. You got to buy the fear. She's taken that move. Ark remains bullish on Coinbase despite the crypto exchange being sued by the SEC. Coinbase is expanding around the world. They will just leave and go somewhere else. Its funds added $21 million worth more of Coinbase shares on Tuesday. Cathie Wood's Ark Invest bought more Coinbase shares on Tuesday, the same day the crypto exchange operator was sued by the United States. Ark's flagship exchange traded fund, and they didn't always make the best moves, though. Ark Innovation ETF purchased 39,773 shares of Coinbase, according to an update from the fund's manager trading desk on Tuesday. Its Ark Next Generation Internet ETF bought 53,000 shares, and Ark FinTech Innovation ETF purchased 35,000 shares. Together, the purchase was worth $21.6 million based on the stock's closing price of roughly $52 on Tuesday. The purchase comes as Coinbase stock price fell as much as 21% before closing down 12% on the back of the SEC lawsuit. The SEC alleged she's already up 12% if you bought that bottom. The SEC alleged on Tuesday that the exchange violated rules by allowing users to trade many tokens that were not registered as securities. Honestly, they've been doing business for years and no one said a word. Then all of out of nowhere, they start saying this nonsense. It's pretty strange, if you ask me. Like right around, I don't know, it like something doesn't completely add up here. Like there's something amiss here. But shout out to them for jumping on in and using the blood to make that money. That's the age-old adage to do damage. That's a smart move. Canada wildfires, tens of millions under air quality warnings as fires burn. Tens of millions of people in North America have woken up to dangerous air quality levels as intense wildfires burns across Canada. Smoke blanketed large areas of Ontario and Quebec, while an orange haze hung over much of the northeastern U.S. throughout Tuesday and into Wednesday. Toronto and New York briefly ranked among the metro areas with the worst air quality in the world overnight. Much of the smoke is coming from Quebec, where 160 fires are burning. Canadian officials say the country is shaping up for its worst wildfire season on record. Experts have pointed out to a warmer and drier spring than normal as the reason behind the trend. These conditions are projected to continue throughout the summer. So now we're not going to be able to go outside for the rest of the summer, right? Something weird is going on. Deteriorating air quality has forced at least one region in Quebec, the Atomic community of Apicatkawan, miles north of Montreal, to transfer people with asthma and other respiratory issues away from the smoke. Meanwhile, U.S. Environmental Protection Agency classified the air quality in much of Northeast as unhealthy, especially for people with respiratory concerns. In the total, some 100 million people around North America are thought to be under a form of air quality warning. In New York, an orange haze blanketed the city's skyline and shrouded landmarks, including the Statue of Liberty. All outdoor activities for the city's public schools have been indefinitely suspended, with Mayor Eric Adams warning that conditions are expected to deteriorate later on Wednesday. We recommend all New Yorkers limit outdoor activity to the greatest extent possible. Local residents in the city said the smell of smoke by Tuesday evening was like campfire. I can't smell the campfire here, but it is affecting my region in the city of Boston. This is kind of crazy. This is big news. And how does it help your health? Matthew Adams, a professor at University of Toronto and the director of the Center of Urban Environment, said immediate effects of inhaling wildfire smoke include shortness of breath, an elevated pulse, chest pain, or inflammation in the eyes, nose, and throat. I mean, I've actually had a campfire before, and I breathed in the smoke from the campfire. I mean, they can't be any worse than just like breathing outside of smoke. But again, I'll listen. My lungs did feel a little strange after being outside yesterday. So you never know. There's particles in the air too as well. And that's something that we have to look at and worry about. So it's pretty weird. Don't get concerned about it. He said, stay inside and reduce your exposure. But in areas close to the fire, Professor Adams recommended wearing an N95 mask outside to block inhalation of most smoke particles. Not the masks. Not the mask again. Jeez Louise. I can't take it anymore. Did the SEC just label everything on Coinbase front page a security? The Howey test is supposed to determine which cryptocurrency is securities, but the SEC could just be relying on website screenshots instead. Gary's securities watchdog said Coinbase and Binance, two most dominant crypto exchanges, have been up to no good. Binance allegedly trading against its own customers throughout subsidy markets while commingling users' assets with its own. A big no-no, if true. But most of the charges, all civil, not criminal, focus on the kind of stuff abhorrent to hall monitors types, supporting trade from unregistered securities. Everyone's freaking out. These are small fines. Small fines compared to how big these companies are. They pay $100 million, they walk away. It's not a big deal. And look, they named different coins on different exchanges. Coinbase sells Atom, but at the same time, they didn't say that they were selling Atom as an unregistered security, right? But when it's on Binance, Atom's an unregistered security. Pretty strange how they name different coins, different times, different aspects. That doesn't make sense. If Atom was an unregistered security by Binance, then should it be an unregistered security by Coinbase? It's a little weird if you ask me. This is pretty strange. This is pretty weird, So here's the deal. They're just trying to up their fiat instead of printing. Yeah, exactly. They're trying to do something. But again, remember, these aren't criminal lawsuits. Everyone gets all freaked out. Like, this is like a pay to play, and it's over. Even if you're unregistered security, you just figure out when and what you sold. You sell, you pay the fine, and you move on. Like, these aren't big deals. I don't know why everyone's making a big deal out of this stuff. It's really not a big deal. All it does is actually show you how strong cryptocurrency is and how they have to do everything they can to try to mess with us.